Right, I've routed a picture of equal arse, look, on some hills. I'm just whacking in a sky. I've got two brushes here. I've got one what's just got some nice moist water on it, and the other one's got some moist watercolour paint on it. I'm switching between two brushes, look, making my sky. So I'm wetting my sky first, and then sticking the blue paint in so it all gets fluffy on the edges. But then I'm adding some extra fluff with a damp brush. And look at that. Look at that for a sky. You can't get more simples than that, can you? The only thing simpler than that is my stepbrother Doofus. He's simpler than that, yeah? He's gone all superstitious. Me and Doofus been watching horror films, and Doofus has gone all superstitious after watching them. He's got paranoid the other day because a black cat started following us. He reckons it's bad luck if a black cat starts following you. What a prat. Yeah, if you're a mouse. I don't know what gets into him, I don't. We're watching Halloween. You know the film Halloween? Doofus kept hiding behind settee. I can't believe 45-year-old and he's hiding behind settee. on actual Halloween, right? Not saying Doofus is ugly, right? But on actual Halloween, Doofus went next door to tell him to turn telly down. They're giving him some sweets. Poor old Doofus. I don't think he even it didn't upset him because I don't think he clicked on what were happening anyway. Yeah, like I say, this simple, and then this Doofus. That is really simple. But that sky I've just painted is simple. I think even Doofus could have painted that sky. Pretty sure he could. Right, so I've put them hills in, look. That was simple, just a bit of green and creamy colour paint. And I just popped that in, and now I've got some darker green, and at the bottom of them mountains, right at the edge of this field, what's going to go in a minute, I've just put this in wet in wet. That paint's still wet on them mountains, and that's why, see how it's all going soft with that diffused colour, yeah? That's what we're looking for, yeah? The only thing as soft as that is my stepbrother Doofus, my stepbrother's brain. That's as soft as that. Sounds like I'm picking on him, but I'm not. He's always picking on me. He's always playing tricks on me and stuff, so don't feel sorry for him. There we are, look. Just whapping in some bright yellow for these bushes. And then, well, but one's, I'd say, two of them as bushes and that one right near us. That's a tree. Oh, look, some darks. My light's coming in from left hand side, so I'm putting them darker colours toward right hand side. And you'll see outside of ours there'll be a nice dark shadow on one side. Whack a bit of grass in, again look, it's as simple as Doofus. Splash that paint in. This can be splodgy, messy, bit of a path, hint of a path. I don't need my path dead strong, just a bit of a hint that there's some path there. Jobs are good, isn't it? Jobs are good. Yeah, me and Doofus been watching horror films, and I'm sure Doofus thinks the documentaries. He keeps hiding behind settee. Think, Doofus, grow up. You're 45. Watched Dracula. Watched a few vampire films. You never get a vampire with bad teeth. They've all got nice teeth. Although thinking about it, I don't think they eat, do they? I think they just drink blood. I don't think they eat out. So, is there any sugar in your blood? Suppose if you're diabetic, don't you have like bad blood sugar then? So if they like bited a diabetic, they might get bad teeth or something. So at least if you're diabetic, then you might be a bit safe. They might be able to tell, and they perhaps avoid you or something, because you never ever see one with bad teeth. I tell you what, I'm surprised Dracula ain't got a beard, because he can't see his reflection in the mirror. So how's he even having a shave, you know what I mean? As he ain't a shave. Yeah? It just don't add up. Look at that. It's my grey watercolour. Bit of windows there, look. I'm leaving a little white gap round them windows for my white window frames. It's just colouring in. You know, like when you're a kid with your crayons. People say watercolour is the hardest art. The hardest one to do. It's easy. Just have a go at it. A little play at it. You'll find it's quite easy. Yeah? Yeah, I was saying to Doofus, being his stepbrother is a bit like being friends with a vampire. Can you imagine being friends with a vampire? It'd be a pain in the neck, right? Oh, that's where it is. Being Doofus' stepbrother, pain in the neck. Because he's just a pain in the neck. What more can I say? 45-year-old, pain in the neck. Why did me mum have to marry Doofus's dad? Doofusitis and his dad Arthur. We're all stuck here living under the same roof. Anyway, let's get back to this painting and concentrate. Let's concentrate on this painting. Never mind my living situation. Let's concentrate on this painting. I think sometimes my speakers making me, it's making my voice swizzle a bit. Sesame seeds. Here we are, look. Fold hair dryer, dry it down, and then glaze another layer on top. Oh, that's how you do it, innit? Can you see how all that misty stuff in the background, look? It's looking distant. In a minute, as I'll start glazing more layers up, the more layers I glaze on this front bit, the closer it's going to look to you. The more detail I put in this art. See, this is what you've got to think, right? You've got to think, how much detail do I want on this art? Because you're not going to see every brick and every tile and all that. And the more detail you put in, the more closer it's going to look. Well, you don't want it looking too close because it's not right near you. So you don't go mentals. If you go all minstrels with your details, go look daft. So keep it minimalistic-est. Yeah? Minimals. Keep it minimals. See that wall, look? Don't even hardly look like out. I'll put a bit more detail in it, bring it a bit closer, and it'll make it look a bit more three-dimensional. Because at the minute, that's all looking a bit same distance. But now, as you can see already, this house is starting to look a little bit closer. Then when I pull that wall in a minute, when I say pull it in, by adding details, it's going to pull it in, make it look closer. Now look how much closer that looks there. And I'll be putting a few little bricks in, just a hint of a few bricks. I'm not painting every single brick. There we are, look, that's a rock wall. Same again. I'm not painting rocks. I'm painting little blobs of paint to create the impression of rocks. Now, they were a bit strong, so I've dabbed them with my finger. Don't want it too... If you look and it's looking too close, you know you've got to dab it with your finger, text it back a bit. Here we are, look, glazing another layer of paint on. That's going to gradually bring this, the thicker this paint is on front, the more closer it's going to look. Now, if you look at that now, you can see now that's got 3 dimension. There's depth in that. You can see that them bushes in the background, at the bottom of them hills, look far away. Them hills in the background look far away. The arse, the ickle trees, they looks closer. Yeah? Right, adding a bit more detail to these trees. Same again, mainly on that right hand side, because the sun's hitting on the left, so that's bleaching the colour out. It's just making everything bright and making it look like a nice hot day, innit? You see path, just see that hint of a path just leading the eye in to that door. So I've put some little steps in there. There we are. I'm just putting in now, look. A couple of tiles on roof, and I've just put a few little bricks in. If I hint at brickwork, there are a few more bricks, look. But I'm not painting every single brick, just a couple. Looked a bit much, dab with finger. So it's pretty simple. Now here, you know the fine cracks, the little dark bits in between the rocks? That's what I'm pouring in there. Little fine details. But again, I'm painting a few in, and let your imagination put the rest in. And not forgetting, this is still quite far away, so you're not going to see every single rock. It's more the impression of some rocks. Yeah? Dry it, get it nice. Every so often, get a nice dry. You can't, if you add paint to wet paint, you're just smudging it round in circles. You've got to dry a layer and then add a layer on to thicken your paint up and glaze up, glaze and then another glaze and that. There, I've got some white gouache. I've just drawn in a little white picket gate thing, and then I've just popped a few little dashes of white gouache on that wall for a few little highlights where it sun's hitting it and that. And then I did just pop a couple of little low lights in for in between them dark gaps in between rocks as well there. We're not far off done now. This is the tree trunks. Now here, notice I'm leaving little gaps. If you put them tree trunks all the way up with no gaps, it's going to look like there's no leaves on one side of the tree. Well, you don't want that look, so you leave little gaps. That's Peter and Paul, two birds. Bird stands for Bertie D, and I'll see you on beach.